You had a question.
My question is actually directed just to Helen Holton. A lifelong member of the 8th District, I voted for you before, I remember voting for you, and I really do believe that you care about this city. One of the things you mentioned that part of being a city council person is legislative action. And I'm really curious, since you got elected in 2007, what legislative action can you, I guess, tell us about that you brought back to the community to help us since then?
Well, legislative action that I've brought back since 2007 has been legislative action that has helped. It hasn't happened yet, but there's a senior building that's going to be built on Frederick Avenue, senior housing, that required legislative action to make it happen. There's been, 2007, specific to the district, there's been, well, there's a difference in legislative action that's district specific is usually tied to projects in the district. So the Uplands redevelopment project required legislative action in order to get that going, which happened. Legislative activity in terms of some of the demolition that's had to take place in the district, though it's not been a lot. So when you talk about district specific, there's not a lot of legislative action in any district that's district specific if it's not tied to a project within that district.
Wow.
Okay, do you guys have one final question?
Yeah.
Just one.
I think this is an important question that everyone's kind of, glided over. But my question for you, Mrs. Holton, is could you please share the details of your plea deal with the courts?
The details of the plea deal with the courts is a matter of public record.
And you're a public official?
Yes, I am a public official.
May I answer the question? Thank you.
The details of the plea deal is that it was a technical.
Why did you have to accept the plea bargain?
I didn't have to accept the plea bargain.
So why did you choose to? Why did you put yourself in a position to have to
I pled no contest. I pled no contest to a campaign finance violation. And it was a technical violation that occurred because I did not have the invoice. I did not receive the check that exceeded the limits of campaign finance laws. And so when it was uncovered, it was corrected, the report was amended, and that was it. I mean, and so I paid a fine. And so it was a technical mishap that occurred, but not an intentional event. It was an honest, unintended consequence of not having an invoice, not receiving the payment, and it not having been recorded by the treasurer.
Thank you for that question.
Okay, it's time now for our closing last comments by Dennis Betzel.
Yeah, my name is Dennis Betzel. Get used to hearing it because you're going to hear it quite often in the next few months. The Democrat Party has, for the last 60 years, wrestled this city to the ground. Okay, the same people that are, some of the same people that are sitting up at this table, okay, who could not stand certain people a few months back, all of a sudden stood lockstep, as Mr. Smallwood pointed out, all endorsing the mayoral candidate that is exactly reversing some of the information that we heard tonight. She's the one that pushed the 300 police officers. Now, how are you going to stop a budget when you're endorsing that mayoral candidate? I don't know how you're going to do that. As far as running a business, I'm glad she brought up her business, because yes, she is a CPA. She has multiple degrees in CPA. And I don't know how a CPA loses a check for $12,000. Okay, I don't know how a CPA can consider it fair that she paid a fine of $2,500 for that $12,000 check. I can see how a CPA would consider that a good investment. Okay, I can see how a corrupt developer could turn around and consider a $12,000 investment for multi-million-dollar tax breaks a good investment. When it all came to light, and that's what I've been saying it all night long, transparency, transparency, transparency. You need to know. We need to know. If I don't win, God bless it, I better know.
Huh?
Every detail that goes through, I want to know it. When a deal comes down, I want to know it.
Okay.
If I'm just a standard citizen, and I'm not down there in
Right.
downtown myself, I want to know it.
That's right.
It should be out on a webpage, it should be in a newspaper. If we can all come out and we can parade around and we can do it every 4 years, and we can go to 50 events a week and have signs out all over God's creation, we should be able to post a webpage every once in a while.
That's true. I agree.
So, as far as I'm concerned, transparency and honesty are two main things. Thank you. My name is Dennis Pretzel. I'm a Republican.
So you don't
And the election is November 8th.